Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Venture Global and NextDecade because this geopolitical tension, the Iran war, has caused a bigger generational buying opportunity for these two companies than the one that we already had. And we can already see here with Venture Global, it is up 86% year to date, which is amazing. And NextDecade is lagging a little bit with 7.25% up for the year. But that is great knowing the stock market mostly is down. And why is that? Energy prices have skyrocketed, particularly in Asia and Europe, since the U.S. Israeli military operation against Iran. And as you can see here in the United States, we're not really affected much by that in the natural gas prices. And the reason why is we're net exporters. We have a lot of supply to the point where we can export. And why these two, Asia and Europe, have been feeling it is primarily because of the location. So as you can see here, this is Iran. This is all the Arab countries, including Qatar, that are producing the LNG. And this is where the tension is going on right now. This is the Persian Gulf. And most of these oil and LNG producing nations like Qatar, they have to go through the Strait of Hormuz. And right now it is blocked. There's a lot of war going on, a lot of uncertainty, and it's very hostile in that area. And the Strait of Hormuz accounts for 27% of global oil trade. That's a massive number. And 22% of global LNG trade. So, what this war made us realize is we can't really rely on our energy source on an area that is so hostile overnight. This little strait right here can be closed down, and 90% of Qatar's energy transport goes through this. So, if a lot of countries and companies relying on Qatar, having this closed, you kind of stop 90% of their production. So, countries and companies have to kind of look somewhere else, and that's where we come in the United States. So right here, this is our Gulf, and most of our LNG exporting facilities and terminals are located there. A lot safer than the Strait of Hormuz. We don't have this little strait where it could be closed off. And, the United States is a lot bigger power than that little region. So it's a lot safer, and it's wise for countries and companies to kind of make contracts with this area. And that's where Venture Global and NextDecade kind of hang out. So we can already see it, countries that were planning ahead. So South Korea was aggressively securing long-term LNG contracts, particularly from the United States, to enhance their security amid any Middle East volatility. So they made a lot of contracts with a company specifically called Venture Global. But there's countries and companies that were not thinking ahead. They said, hey, there's going to be a lot of LNG supply on the market. LNG prices are going to go down. So we're just going to gamble and go off of the market price instead of securing contracts. And some companies like Norwegian Cruise Line did not hedge any of their fuel. So they did not create any contracts. They were just buying strictly from the spot prices. Companies like Royal Caribbean, they had over 60% of their 2026 fuel needs covered by contracts. So they only have to worry about 40% on the spot prices, which kind of gives them a lot of balance. In India, for instance, India is a major company. India faces the largest combined exposure to the region of Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. More than half of its LNG imports are Gulf linked and significant to the Brent index. So this is the Brent index. So India didn't make really any contracts. They said, hey, we're going to be buying it off of what these prices are. So year to date, it has skyrocketed. It went from 61 all the way to 103. So India is feeling it because most of its energy demand, especially liquefied natural gas, they did not secure any contracts. So they're having to buy these prices, and it's up 72% in a year. And why is this so important? Since we're starting to realize this area right here is very, very hostile. We can't 100% rely on it. People have to start making contracts with the United States. We need more energy security, pretty much, because they can't just rely, oh, a war strikes up, especially that region is very, very hostile. And next thing you know, you are running your country to the ground or your company to the ground. So companies now like Venture Global and NextDecade, they have the upper advantage. Now people are going to be coming to them, so they're able to negotiate a lot better deals. Their revenue and income no longer is going to be starting to focus only on spot prices, but long-term contracts. And now, since the ball is in their court, they're going to be able to negotiate a lot better prices, because India is going to learn from, hey, by not securing my energy demand, which I really, really need, I'm going to have to make these risks overnight and having to pay for energy demand 72% higher than I normally was. So companies like Venture Global, they're already starting to see that benefit because they're already exporting. Companies like NextDecade, they're still in pre-production. They still have not been fully exporting yet. They're still working on building their systems and terminals. So NextDecade, I think, is going to be a beautiful play because right now it hasn't benefited as much as Venture Global, and it's coming into a market. It should start to come online in 2027, where countries and companies start to realize the need. Hey, we have to secure these contracts. We have to secure our energy. We can't no longer be gambling and just rely on spot prices and just buying what the market is. We want to make these contracts. And NextDecade is going to start realizing, hey, we have a lot of contracts coming to us. We can name our price. We can name our length, which will start making this sector, which is what we call it, the widowmaker, because sometimes it goes up really fast, sometimes it goes up really down, a lot more secure because they're going to have a longer term contracts with a lot better profit margins, because now the ball is in their court. And people are always going to be remembering how volatile this strait is. So I see a huge potential for United States LNG, and the way I'm capitalizing on, I already have a decent position in Venture Global, and I'm building up my NextDecade position because it's only a $1.5 billion market cap. This company right here will do great in the future. It will not be as big as Venture Global, but if you want to talk about returns, and Venture Global already being up 86% year to date, there's a lot of room for NextDecade to run. And it's so easy to build 1,000 shares. And it's so important to build something like 1,000 shares, because for every dollar this stock prices goes up, you profit $1,000 on your portfolio size and that position allocation. So I hope that helps, and I will see you on the next one.